And I wasn't going to hold anything back today.
So you thought it was an inexperienced runner, but like, how much did you watch last year's final? And like,
I think I'm 50% of those videos. No, I just, I have so much respect for Jay Wyman, and he ran such a phenomenal race last year. And I knew I would have to run it slightly different, and I wouldn't say I ran a very perfect race today, but from what I have been planning for the last couple of months, it was close enough to it where I didn't get emotional until the last 150, and at that point it was just throwing everything I had.
Because I know it's been.
What was wrong with it?
I haven't watched it back yet, but there was a couple of times in there I was like, damn, that was a mistake, and you can't really make many of those. But I need a bit of luck on my side today, and I was able to get it. Obviously he's a very fast runner, but a lot of pressure on him, and a big target on his back. So yeah, I'm just proud of the way I executed today.
Josh, I know
you've been vowing to do this for the last 2 or 3 years as well. You've had such confidence. It's been an uncanny amount of confidence.
Yeah, I think you have to believe, and I was standing on that start line, and if you watch the video back, I kept saying to myself, it's my turn, it's my turn. Have I ever doubted myself? No, not really. It's been a long time coming, and win or lose, I always know that, maybe I made a mistake, or maybe my build-up hadn't been the best, but I knew I had the basic fundamentals to be a world champion. And it was, I put together the last couple of months. It's been some of the best training I've ever had. I've been on an insane diet that my nutritionist has written that has been unforgiving, and I have had a chef, and I've had mental coaches, and I've had early mornings and late nights, and this is such an accumulation of hard work, and there was no corners cut in this situation, and today I just have to be proud of whatever that came up with, because it's the best I've got.
Josh, I know it's been...
Yeah. Those guys were not good at the 800 until I started running it, to be honest. They've been running 146 all year. I've been giving them crap in the camp. But listen, they know how to peak at the right time. All of them got through the heats yesterday, and for me, I always, I get slated throughout the year, being like, oh, Josh isn't fit now, Josh isn't fit now. This is the day I've always wanted to be fit, and it's every year it's the same thing. I show up at championships, I don't miss championship finals, and I had a bad effort last year and I was fifth, and I was able to come away with gold today. But listen, it was just everything I had today, and the camp is, like I said, it's gone so well. I didn't leave any stone unturned.
Josh, I know it's been.
Moving into 200 to go would be the experience.
Again, it's just like, it's a cookie cutter performance, and you don't, it's like watching the NBA. This is a terrible example. You can't beat a team the same way over and over again. And like him, like Ingebrigtsen is one of the best runners, one of the fastest runners in the world. He's not stupid enough to get beat the same way twice. And I thought someone would maybe do what I just did, and have a tough last 100. And I knew I wouldn't be able to kind of go past him with 200 to go. I just had to stay relaxed as much as possible. I commit to that kind of outside of lane one, but I had quite a bit left in that last 200, and so I was just making sure I stayed calm and gave everything I had that last 100.
Josh, I know it's been quite a few years since you were at college in New Mexico, but what kind of influence did Joe Franklin have on your career?
I've made very blind jumps in my career, and I think he made a similar one with me. I never had really been to the US before. I never took a visit, and at 17 I kind of flew over to the University of New Mexico as my only offer, and took care of me, he trained me, and with the help of that staff, I became a 3-time NCAA champion and NCAA record holder. So I've got to pay a lot of homage to him, and all of my coaches in the past, and my coach now, Danny Mackey. And it's just been a smooth transition, and it feels like a very long time ago that I had to fly over to the University of New Mexico with my parents at 17 years old. So I wasn't able to even sign my own release form, so I had to bring my parents with me. So it was just, feels like a lifetime ago, but I've had the support system around me, and I've just made some decisions with my heart throughout my whole career, and it's ended up being a gold medal world champion.
Did you make any changes to your training after loss?
Yeah, I hit a very good winter. I didn't hit a very good winter last year. It's very difficult to stay focused after the Olympics. It's just that, that hangover from the Olympics a little bit, in terms of just, you're on that high and then you have to work towards another one within, a month or so. And listen, I've had the best time in this camp. I've had amazing people around me. I've had the best brand, the best coaches, and the best staff. And it's just been a whole whirlwind experience, but I knew I'd put together such a good camp that I was going to be proud of the performance regardless.
Where was the camp, and any workouts stand out as like a really killer session?
Yeah, it was in New Mexico. I did 4 weeks in San Moritz before the 2 Diamond Leagues, and then the British Champs, and then I went back to Albuquerque for 4 weeks, and obviously Danny and the whole team was there. And I don't know, like a session I did a couple of weeks ago was 8 by 400 off of 90 seconds, around 54.8 average, something like that, with I think it was 4 minutes in between rep 4 and 5. But listen, everyone can do good workouts, but it's the stuff in between that I felt like I got right: the sleep, the nutrition, and those extra 1%. And I knew, if I had the right stuff, the right spikes, the right brand, and the right mindset, I was going to come out with something I was proud of.
Have you ever had a chef or a sports psychologist before this hit?
Sports psych, yes, before the Olympics, and I kept that in, and the chef was new in the last couple of months.
Is that something like Danny suggested, or you on your own, or UK Athletics?
More my fiance. She sees my daily eating on the basis, and she said, look, this, if you're going to do everything right, if you're going to tick every box, like this is something you could do better. And my nutritionist is so amazing. And he wrote every single, like for the last kind of 6 weeks, it's every single thing that I put in my mouth. And yeah, it's been a diligent camp. It's been like a fight camp. And so, yeah, I had a really good time, but it also sucked really bad.
What was the hardest thing to cut out on the diet?
Chipotle, man. I just, I'm not a fast food guy. I feel like I eat healthy. It's just my portion size was maybe a little bit too big, but everything was down to the right ounce, and it takes a lot to bring a guy like me to be in race fitness, and it was just every stone has to be turned.
And you talked to Danny between rounds?
Yes, yeah. We had a really good conference call yesterday. Me, Julian, and Danny, our assistant coach, and obviously head coach for Brooks, and he wanted to make sure that he knew what was at risk if I was going to make certain moves, and he just needed to know that I was going to put everything at that last 100 and not to get emotional from that last 150, and I did that, and that was the result today.
Have you talked to him since?
No.
When Kipsang of Kenya led the first lap, which was really strong, were you afraid that this is not the kind of race that you can win?
No, Kipsang runs a 55 in every round in every race, and so I kind of thought it was going to happen, but listen, I was just staying put and did exactly what I could.
Okay.
Just very quick question.